What I learned in Arizona. I learned that air travel is a part of life. And if you want a good view to be a part of your life, don't let some jamoke get the window seat. I learned that it's always good to travel with a buddy. This is Matt. He's good at directions, the laugh cry, and we've been pals for a long time. I even gave a touching speech at his wedding.
Finally, we get to Mexico. Guess what we found there? We found Mexican strippers is what we found there.
Not a dry eye in the house. You're welcome. I learned that Phoenix is a pretty big place, like 516 square miles big. This is Logan. He's an undefeated amateur heavyweight boxer. His record's 2-0, but, undefeated. I learned that if you take a Schlitz and a Hams, put them together over ice with some lemon, you've got a schlam. Logan introduced us to Ross Simon, legendary Scottish bartender and proud owner of Bitter and Twisted.
I've learned that the best drink in the world is the drink in your glass.
And this dude has a ramen burger. Ramen burger.
It's one of the most amazing things I've ever put in my mouth.
I learned that the best way to cure a hangover is a swim.
Best American road trip. You sound like Lenny Kravitz.
I learned that if you think Arizona is one big sandbox, you have another thing coming, Jack. Arizona looks like 50 places. Shit. We killed a bug. Crap. I learned that when you see a guy named Bubba selling beef jerky on the side of the road, you fucking pull over and buy that beef jerky. Buffalo, elk, deer. If it's a big, majestic beast, Bubba will make jerky out of it.
What I've learned selling jerky is that everybody's the same when they're happy. It doesn't matter where they come from, wherever they live in this world.
I learned that Sedona is a spiritual mecca for people from all walks of life. You can visit Jesus in a rock, get your aura read, or get your chakras tuned up. Matt and I thought we'd give bowl healing a whirl. This is Ray.
Yeah, think again, oh yeah, again and again.
I learned that sound vibrations can travel over a mile in each direction. It's like a cosmic jam session designed to, well, I'm not exactly sure what it does, but it's tight. Maybe there is something to this place.
I learned that most of the people that come in here that I make a strong connection with, it's past life.
You want some?
Yeah.
It's gonna be hot.
Maybe too hot. Is it too hot?
I learned that a good friend always has your back, but even the closest of friends needs a little space. At first, I thought Matt was a bad road trip partner. But then I realized he just needed something to do.
Well, you're built like a hairdresser, and you have the touch of a truck driver.
We made our way to the Grand Canyon.
Oh, shit. Look at this.
No big D. Just kidding. It was awesome. The Navajo Nation covers 27,000 square miles and spans parts of Arizona, Utah, and New Mexico. This is Lorenzo. He owns the Trading Post, which is kind of a convenience store, tire repair shop, vending machine depot. It's a lot of things. This is his uncle on the side of the shop, a Navajo code talker. During World War II, they communicated between battalions with a code based on the Navajo language that the Japanese couldn't crack. Lorenzo invited us to take part in a Navajo sweat lodge ceremony behind the store. I learned that you cannot film a Navajo sweat lodge ceremony. It was so fucking hot, I thought I was going to die. I learned that any destination worth a shit probably has a dirt road leading to it. This place had many. This is Ed Kilako. He's a war veteran / straight up cowboy who started building this town from scratch in the 70s.
People didn't know that there was blacks in the real West. They didn't have a clue because they didn't see them with Roy Rogers or Gene Autry or John Wayne. I showed up here and they couldn't figure out, so where does he come from? If you pull that book out right there, pull it out and show the cover. Out here is school. You learn every day. Kilako will be okay.
All this cowboy talk got me fired up, so we headed to a rodeo.
Coming up now for his first time in stall number 1 on Ball Breaker. Give a welcome, y'all, for JT.
Psh, psych. This is Slobby Robbie. This gentleman owns a store called Generation Cool, and it specializes in 80s and 90s nostalgia.
In Tucson, I learned you got to drink a lot of water, man, or else you're just gonna burn up and shrivel up and die. It's hot as fuck in Tucson.
From there, we checked out Isaiah Toothtaker, a Tucson tattoo artist and owner of Staring Without Caring.
One thing I learned about owning a tattoo shop in Tucson is that you gotta do something that's gonna make you stand above the rest, be as individual and exciting as you could possibly be.
I met God.
Party time.
He lives in his own bar called the Meat Rack and has his own sex dungeon.
This is when they told me I can't walk through bars naked anymore. They'll take away my liquor license.
And he'll gladly give a tour of the bar to anyone who will listen. Arizona is an amazing, magical place. It's got swimming holes, you can stay in trailers, and there are characters everywhere you go. And my parents live there. Thanks, Arizona, but we gotta go.